Hi, welcome back to West Coast Geeks. I'm your host, Joaquin. How we doing, people? I know, long time no see. So today's video is being burnt out by your hobbies. And what you see in front of me is like the main three things that I collect and enjoy or play or read. So we have Dungeons and Dragons, and then right here we have comic books. And this is what actually caused me to go into this tailspin where I just need to take a break from everything was Warhammer the Old World. So for those of you who are familiar with tabletop miniature games, this is like a big game. And they recently went back and brought back Warhammer Fantasy. And I started playing Warhammer Fantasy, I want to say like 91, and I've been playing on and off. And then they had a sorry, a little tongue twisted there, an end game scenario, and then they quit the line and started Age of Sigmar, which I really didn't get into, but recently kind of have. Like I started collecting it, and then I didn't end up going to the Las Vegas Open, which I'm going to do next year, and so I got my army. It's going to be orcs and goblins. And real quick, Funko Pop. So when I do my videos or my Instagram, which is actually Comic Book Gallery, I try to pair up um, whatever Funko Pop of Marvel or DC or whatever it is with a picture. And so that's the majority of what I get, as you can see back there. The Funko Pops in that box is actually a box that I need to do an unboxing for my other comic book channel, my other YouTube channel, which I haven't touched in like over a year easily, called Comic Book Gallery. So if you want to know more about comic books, go over there and swing by, because I will be releasing content on that next week. I would like to say this week, but I'm not going to, because I really want to concentrate back on getting the West Coast Geeks back up, and just getting back into D&D. I am going to be buying the Dungeon Master's Guide soon and give my opinion on Greyhawk and everything else, but I'm really looking forward to Dungeons and Dragons. But Warhammer really just set me for a loop, because I'm going to be doing some videos on painting, and I'm new to painting in a sense of I haven't painted miniatures in like, God, like 10, 15 years at least, something, a crazy amount. Yeah, almost 15. And so I'm going to be showing you my army, and I have a huge orcs and goblin army, probably close to about 5,000 points, and I'm going to showcase all that. And so when I started looking about the 2,000 points that I have to paint for the Las Vegas Open, I was just like, man, I need to take a break. And so I took a break from D&D and even collecting comic books, which is I've always done on and off. Like, if there's a really good series going on, I'll read like two or three, and then I'll just buy back issues, because comic books can drain you. Like this is the first appearance of Carnage. For those of you who don't know who he is, he's like in if you saw Venom 2. And so while it's not my most valuable book, I am a big time Spider-Man fan, along with like the X-Men. And so being able to collect that book is, I was like, oh, this is cool. I want to add this to my collection. But your hobbies are supposed to be something that you do to relax, right? You get off of work, or you need a break from your family or your friends or whatever. Some of these hobbies are escapism from that. Like comic books, that's just something that, yeah, you can have some friends who collect comic books with you, but that's really like a personal, where you're collecting, you're buying what you like, and in my case, in other people, content creators, you're sharing your love for these stories or characters or whatever. But spending I dropped it down to like $25 a week, and then after that, I was like, I don't even want to spend 25 bucks a week, you know. D&D. The great thing about D&D is you only need three core books. You know, the Player's Handbook, Monster Manual, and the Dungeon Master's Guide. And then, you know, there's so many videos on top of the videos that I do and everybody else about how to create your own adventures and all these other things. And you just, you know, maybe pick up a couple of 5e adventures and you're pretty much set because you have an example and you have maps that you can get online. So, you know, your buy into this hobby compared to what, you know, the other hobbies I'm going to show you is very low key. Like the most expensive one is comic books, but you know, when you want to turn around and sell off some of your books, you might have a first appearance, and depending on the grade and what you might have, you know, your collection could be worth just on the keys, which are like first appearances or like important stories that are popular, which is, you know, let the market decide, like Infinity Gauntlet, Secret Wars, and stuff like that, will be worth more as opposed to maybe Spider-Man 320 or something like that, where it's just like a filler. It might be a cool story, but it's just not going to be as worth as much as Amazing Spider-Man. And so Warhammer is the same thing. Once you buy into it, unless you're collecting more armies, you know, once you get the rule book and your army book, and you collect all the models that you want to play with, and you paint them, which is also the cool part of the hobby. I'm gonna be doing videos on that. Um, that's it. Funko Pops, you know, I don't chase after any expensive Funko Pops. In fact, I look for deals and discounts and whatever. And my sister actually got me Tiamat for Christmas before it shot up to like 75 or 100. I don't know what it's at right now. I really don't care in the sense of, you know, I'm never gonna get rid of Tiamat. This pop means so much to me. I got Asmodeus up there in the corner, and of course Spider-Man. So as you can see, like my disposable income is like boom, going to like three, four different things, and then if you want to throw in movies or going out with friends or anything else, it takes up a lot of time. And with comic books, it takes money. And I just got burnt out really. I won't say really quick. I got burnt out. I mean, I've been um, collecting and enjoying these hobbies since I was like 8 years old. I started off with Dungeons and Dragons. Moved into comic books when I was in high school or eighth grade, going into ninth, something like that. Um, then went into Warhammer, Magic the Gathering. Like I don't even show that because I sold off the collection, but I do enjoy playing Arena Online, which I pretty much play every day because I love the game. And you just get to a point where you're spending so much time, and then you're like, well, I want to do other things in my life, and I want to get back into art because I'm an artist, and I always have been, and I always will be, whether I practice it or not. You know, it's just something who I am. And so I used to enjoy doing it, and I got burnt out from that too. And like I haven't been a serious artist in probably 10 years. I'll draw, sketch, do some things, but what I really have enjoyed is, well, actually, I gotta scratch that. For the past 3 years, I've been teaching an art class at Michael's, but then they shut down the program, where we were showing like adult simple projects, but more importantly, I was showing little kids how to draw and paint, and I really enjoyed that. And now my niece Coraline is 7. She's going to be turning 7 in a couple of weeks, I believe. And so I really enjoy teaching her how to draw. So sometimes you need to take a break. So I just wanted to make a quick video about it's okay taking a break, right? And so when it comes to like Dungeons and Dragons, there's all these videos about, you know, we'll shorten the sessions or go every other week or go every month. But you get to a point that you get burnt out. And as a dungeon master, you really need to let people know when you're when you're getting done. And at that point, you whatever the campaign is, you just wrap it up. You do all those tips and all the videos, but in the end, if you don't want to go on, don't feel obligated that you have to go on, because sometimes you just like where I was at, for like 2 or 3 months. Yeah, I would still collect a few of these things. Like I bought the player's handbook, I bought the Infinite Staircase, which is really good. I can't wait to do that review. I'm looking forward, I guess, to painting these um, miniatures for Warhammer, even though that's what set me into this. I need a break to begin with, but now I'm getting hyped, and I love playing the game. Painting the miniatures, whatever. I gotta do what I gotta do, and I just think that sometimes we get too wrapped up in some of our hobbies, and it's okay to like take a break, especially if you're like a dungeon master. I feel like dungeon masters have been put under so much pressure ever since like fifth edition and expectations. Um, especially when it comes to like modules and adventures, and setting up a campaign, and your world building, which I'm gonna start going into that because there are some cool shortcuts that I've learned and even like developed or figured out over time to help you not just get bogged down, because I see too many people, or I've met too many people who develop this world, and it's interesting, but half the time the players really, in some cases, and most of the time, don't care about the work you put in, about the new creatures that you made, because they may not be that impressed with them. They're not trying to hurt your feelings, especially when it comes to your own stories or adventures or NPCs. But they enjoy playing the game, and they enjoy spending time with you. That's the cool thing about D&D. In fact, that's probably the best thing I've always enjoyed about Dungeons and Dragons, is just connecting with other people and just playing a game that the goal is where as a group you're trying to work together and survive and overcome obstacles and just have a good time. Where Warhammer is a competitive game, and I enjoy playing whether I win or lose. I'm trying to win, but I don't really care if I lose unless I'm playing with my friends. And if you're going to watch this video, Eric, I'm talking to you. So in January, I'm going to come and kick your butt. And that's the other thing, too. My boy Eric has been going through so much, and he just got burnt out. And that's why he hasn't joined me on any videos. And then I kind of got a little just set back about that. And I was just like, man, because I really enjoy doing videos with him. But I got my boy Greg, and he's going to be getting the player's handbook. And before Eric had joined in, he was the one helping me do like the top 10 videos and stuff like that. And so I'm going to get back on track. And, um, this is like, even though this is, how to deal with burnout and knowing when to take a break, at the same time, it's like embracing once you've taken that break to get back into the hobby and get back into your own pace, especially like DMing. If you need a break and you just want to be a player, or in some case just step away from the game, then go ahead, because you shouldn't feel pressured to be running the game. And I feel like I've watched a lot of these videos, and you get that vibe off of some of these DMs when they're giving you these tips, or you get the pressure where you have players talk about the DMs and the expectations, and it's a lot, man. I mean, my favorite times when I was playing second edition is because we were just kids, around 8 to 10, and just enjoying the game. If I bought a module, we played the module. There was no what's my motivation. There was no well, my character wouldn't do that. We just played the game and we loved it. So I hope if you are feeling the same way I did, that you just take a little break and then you come back to whatever the hobby is. I'm going to go over to it more with like comic books, because the money on that will just crush you when you start thinking about spending more than like 20 or $25 a week because we're talking like in a year that's 1,200. And I used to be a person that used to spend 30 to 50 bucks a week sometimes. When you start looking at it like that, it's like, damn, and you start multiplying that by years, and I don't even want to think about it. Funko Pops, like I said, so it's a nice little cool collection that I add, but I'm almost done collecting what I want to collect, and so when that comes, it's like that'll be one less thing. Um, I'm fortunate enough to have a big Orcs and Goblin army, so there's only a few models, and I already have the paint. Excuse me. So, with that, people, I hope you enjoy the evening, and I look forward to making more video comment. Leave a comment below. Um, any tips that you deal with, like with stress or maybe depression, you know, um, and what do you do to get back into the game, and how much time do you usually generally give yourself just to like decompress? Because in life, I feel that's very important that you take care of yourself and decompress. So, with that, people, I hope you guys are having a great Halloween and enjoy the weekend. Take care. Oops.